Good.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another Gambling Labs segment here of Bogey Proof. We got Charles Schwab Challenge this week. A little hangover from the PGA that went on last week, but actually pretty solid field showing up down in Texas at the Charles Schwab. So kind of interested to see, who's emotionally hungover from the PGA and who gets right back on the horse and starts playing some real quality golf. I don't know. You guys got anything going into this tournament like that you're looking for storyline wise or anything like that?
No.
It's just the typical letdown week after a major where just the motivation to really get going and get up for the Charles Schwab Challenge, like the RBC Heritage, like who cares?
Right.
Probably calls it a flap, Johnson. It's
The biggest storyline is why hasn't Phil dropped out of the tournament yet? That's the biggest storyline in my opinion.
He's posted Instagrams that he's laying down drinking wine poolside yesterday. It's like, dude, you're
you're not
I don't know
playing,
where
man.
he is. I don't know if he's in
Let's go
Cali
up.
or if he's in Texas, but it's like he doesn't care.
8,500 in this.
Or
That's
Cuba.
so expensive too. Phil's not going to play well at all.
No, he doesn't care. Are you kidding me? Last year, this I just want to give a shout out. This was the first tournament back from COVID, so some good vibes coming from last year. And actually, it ended up being an awesome tournament too. Berger beat Morikawa in a playoff. Xander was in the mix down the stretch there, so it turned out pretty well last year. Was pretty good, being the first one back. But let's get right into the DFS this week. It's with the little change up being a post major week. It's a little bit of a different strategy. You got to find guys that aren't coming off too much of an emotional week back at the PGA, and guys that might not have been crushed by the way they played. Didn't have too much expectations. Who do you guys like going into this? Who do you guys like for to win first round leaders, and then we'll go right into our DFS lineups.
Yeah, I like your point. You're looking for guys. I think in a tournament like this, the way I approach it at least would be like, I'm looking for guys who are starting to hit their stride, who showed some good signs at the PGA. You can definitely do a stars and scrubs kind of format here, where obviously your top name guys, your Patrick Reeds or Tony Finau's are going to do really well at this tournament just because they're better than everyone. But the scrubs, your Vincent Whaley's, who we'll dive into. He deserves a good 10 minutes of this show. But either way, you're looking for guys who I think are hitting their stride at the PGA, and then they're coming into, an easier tournament, maybe a little bit, obviously an easier field as well, where there's going to be a higher cut percentage of higher guys are making the cut. So I'm looking for guys that are hitting their stride and, who can come out here and make a lot of birdies and still looking to make some money. An Abe Answers at one of those guys hitting his stride. Griot's hitting his stride a little bit. Sanjay, same deal. I'm liking all those guys this week.
I love a guy like that didn't have expectations to win a major like a John Rahm, a Justin Thomas, some of those guys that, if they didn't play well last week, they're going to be a little bit, kind of emotionally in a weird spot. I love guys I love Abe Answer. I think that's an awesome guy where it's hey, he's still trying to get some wins on tour, right? So he's hungry every week no matter what. You got to find guys that aren't the big game hunters that are going to be a little bit in a different mindset this week coming down off the PGA. I think Abe Answer, a guy like, Brian Harmon, Scotty Scheffler, right? These guys that are still looking to gather wins and, they want to play well in majors, but they have, obviously, I guess you expect to win every tournament you play in, but if they don't win, they're not damn it, another one slipped by. Where I think a guy like Justin Thomas or John Rahm kind of thinks like that.
Right. You're still looking for motivation here in tournaments like this. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. You want guys who are looking to win.
Basically, I'm looking more so of the guys that did well and that are just going to have to improve on last week, right? Some guys that stuck out to me that Richie Warinsky, guys like that actually played pretty well at T38. But then also I'm looking at the guys who just flat out fucking sucked.
And come back with a little vengeance.
Yeah, I for sure thought Brian Harmon last week was going to do really well, and I love the salary. And man, he was awful. Missed the cut. I feel like a guy like that comes back and does well. Tringale, awful missing of the cut. It was inferred.
I think he got 48 on the back nine on Friday. I think he had a quintuple, a quad, and a triple.
It was so bad.
All in 9 holes.
I remember my brother was so happy. DFS he had him. Was like, oh, I got Tringale. And Tringale just pumping, never said a single word.
Yeah, you're
But
five
honestly,
iron, huh?
Yeah,
you're
you're fired. But it's guys like that, though, you start thinking about, like, okay, like they do have that capabilities going off. And those are some guys that immediately I'm kind of going with like a first guess here, first top of the mind. Tringale and Harmon are guys that might be at the top of the leaderboard on day one, Paulie. No, you're all about your first round winners, who's in the lead after round one. Those might be my guys that I'm seeing here early off the bat. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, I think Berger will come out hot too. He was striking the ball so well last week, except for I think the fourth round. I think he struggled off the tee.
Mm-hmm.
But tee to green, he was unbelievable. I like Tringale, as you said, and honestly, I have Frensky in my lineup as well. So,
I do too. Yeah, I was looking at. I
might need to reshuffle a little bit here. We're too much all on the same page.
Yeah, I know our league is going to be interesting.
I might have to get back into the lab.
I look at tournaments like these where the course is like, I know Fontaine, you mentioned too, it's a little bit of a shorter track. Like guys are definitely going to be made. I know that the last like couple years here, it's been anywhere from 9 to 20 under par. And if we know anything about the way this year is trending, we're looking at 20 under par. So if we're, I'm looking at guys who, cause everybody at this course, like when you're, I think I put a huge stock into the greens, and I think it's bent grass greens, and Richie Wierenski's a guy who has very good splits on bent grass greens, and I'm looking for guys who are going to light it up on the greens because realistically they're all going to have tons of birdie opportunities this week. So you're looking for guys who are really putting well on these different surfaces. That's a huge DFS thing too, by the way. Guys that really roll them well on different surfaces, and Richie Wierenski is one of those guys. So that's definitely an early value choice for me, along with my boy Chris Kirk, who hits the shit out of it. I like him this week. Yeah,
one of the best
rebound week.
Really,
watch Chris Kirk. That's
you want to learn how to hit golf ball. Watch Chris Kirk. Don't watch Bryce. Watch Chris Kirk. I think kind of getting back to the golf course a little. It's really it's short in the essence of if you hit driver, you're being aggressive, or you have to cut corners, because I think it's. And again, it was happened last June, but from what I remember, dog legs everywhere. So it's this is where Bryson came out after quarantine, looking like he got stung by 1,000 bees and 70 pounds heavier, and started blasting it over trees. And everybody was like, whoa, what the hell happened to you? And obviously we've seen how that's played out over the last, year or so. But I think, it's you just have to be a patient guy, but you have to be a really good iron player, I think, because not everybody, only Bryson's going to be able to take lines like that over a lot of these holes, where a lot of guys are going to be, hitting a 3-wood or a hybrid to the corner, and then hitting a, 8-iron to 6-iron in instead of flipping wedges everywhere. So I look for guys, and I think if you look at that leaderboard last year, right, with Berger, Morikawa, and then Schauffele were the top three, I think those are iron players. Those are just guys that are just, flushing irons everywhere and, solid on the green. So I think kind of all the guys are saying, right? A Wierenski, a Harmon.
What about
38th for Wierenski last week at the PGA, and even guys like Wierenski who are that cheap. I don't even give a shit where they came in. I care that he makes the cut at the PGA Championship. That works for me because fucking just DJ didn't. So clearly, it tells you how difficult the course was, which means a guy like Richie Wierenski who's not going to compete, on the PGA Championship, on a field like that, which is fine. You're looking to attack value, and kind of the exact opposite. Berger at 10K is I'm really hoping that price scares away a lot of people, and I get Berger low owned because I'm going to throw down a lot on Berger for sure. Obviously, past winner of this event, and like I said, I hope that price kind of scares people away because he definitely deserves to be that high. If you know anything about golf, you know how good Dana Berger is, and he deserves that price. So I'm looking that way this week. Wierenski and Berger, baby, let's go.
Wierenski.
Yeah, I got I guess from there, let's start ripping through our lineups here, right? This will give us a couple more guys to talk about. Mm-hmm. I'll go first because I got a couple interesting ones in here I want to get your guys' thoughts on. So I'm a sucker for Payne, and with Tony Finau just doing his thing with the backdoor top 10 last week. Yeah. I just feel like this is a prime one for him to like you said, it's not a PGA Championship field, right? So I think it's a good opportunity for him to kind of sneak up and have a good week. He's got 8 top 10s this year and 16 starts. I'll take that. I'll take the law of averages there. Harmon, who we already talked about. I got Patton Kizzire. He's only 7,400 and he's made 17 cuts this year. I don't know. For 7,400, I'll throw him in. He's been playing decent recently. I don't know what he did at the PGA, but the week before he was top 20 for me. I think I had him in the lineup there too. So
he did not play at the PGA.
Yeah,
T3 at Byron Nelson though.
Right. Yeah. So I'll take my odds with that. And that's another Texas thing, right? I mean, that's something we could take into consideration that we did for Byron Nelson, right? Home game effect, playing back in your home state. Although I don't know if he's from Texas, but he played well in Texas. Carlos Ortiz, another guy. I think he had a decent start to the PGA. I don't know what he ended up doing in round 4, but he was kind of in the mix on Friday and
he shot
Saturday.
76 round 4, finished 6 over total.
Yeah, so 2 over in the last round. He was probably in like 30th or something, then shitty finish. So I'll ride with Ortiz. He seems to be like either in the mix or like off the earth, but I'll go for in the mix this week. Scotty Scheffler, hometown, and then Matt Wallace. We're riding with. I think Matt Wallace, like he's been playing well this year on like the kind of the golf courses that I feel like this is, he doesn't play well at a Byron Nelson or the PGA where it's just bombers and like super long or whatever, but he played well, where Jordan won at Valero, right? It's a shorter course, but kind of a little more quirky and dogleggy. So I'm going to ride with Wallace. I think that those are my lineup and like the best value when I saw in there. Ortiz was 7,300 and Kizzire 74. I just thought that those were good numbers to get those guys at. And then Finau was my best guy at 96, but.
Yeah, I'm going to change up a team. As soon as you said, I actually love I'm blanking. Who would you just say? I just totally lost it.
Kizzire or Ortiz?
Yes, Kizzire. Yes, I like Kizzire for sure. He's an interesting golfer, man. He has as low a floor as anybody on the tour. Like, he's one of those guys. I love guys like him who would just go out there and really mail it in when it's bad. Gets bad for a good old Patton, but
he won back-to-back weeks in 17 or 18, whatever year he came on the tour and got him into kind of the status that he's, that's why he's still on tour because he's been pretty mediocre the last year or two. But like he came out, and again, I can't get the year right, but he came out and won twice in Hawaii. He won at Walleye or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then he won the next week at the Sony in Hawaii. Or is it Sony? I don't know, whatever. But he won back-to-back in Hawaii. And it's like, to win back-to-back, I mean, that's pretty impressive to, like, have that kind of that mental to, like, get your first PGA Tour win and then fall out next week and win again. Like, that's nuts. And to come out of nowhere to do that. So I just think he's got a pretty interesting story. He's a big dude, and I think he's, just looking at his, his, like, whatever his stats are you see in the DFS, 4 top 10s this year and 16 out of 19 cuts. I'll take my chances at 7,400 for that all day.
For sure. TJ, you taking Jonathan Vegas or what, dude?
No, it's one of those things where you go, thank God, close the book, you're done. You're gonna have a feeling, Let me tell you, if you played this week and didn't watch it, right? Like, does that change your mindset on some of these guys that you would pick? If you did no research, you just went out there, you didn't even watch the tournament, you just picked guys and just said, I'm making a lineup, basically like your 15-second lineup, your 30-second lineup. Like, are some of these guys still in it?
Like you're saying I didn't watch the PGA or I didn't watch this play?
Yeah, you didn't watch the PGA. You're really not going to watch this week. You're just going right into it. Are there guys that stand out to you that you would pick? Because for me, knowing it's in Texas has nothing to do with what they did last week. I'm picking Scotty Scheffler because I didn't hear of him at all last week, and I just feel like if you haven't heard his name, he's gonna play well.
He's due to get his name back in the mix. I like that.
Yeah, get the name back in the mix. I mean,
Ryan Palmer.
Just get some guys like that. Yeah.
Ryan Palmer and Scotty Scheffler on the team I'm currently making right now.
Ryan Palmer's in that category. You didn't really hear much of Ryan Palmer last couple weeks here, and then all of a sudden, like, those are the type of guys that will go off in a tournament like this.
Yeah. The other guy that we got to talk about with the Texas stuff is Jordan, but he's literally the highest priced guy in DFS, right? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, so you're only looking at the value, kind of like last week. Is Rory going to be?
It's not a value. It's not a value. I can't get. I don't think Jordan's that high of a buyer.
Can't justify it right now. I mean,
I think he's going to be. I'd be surprised if he's not top 20, but I think he's struggling with his putter a little bit. He's getting a little frustrated, so I could very well see him kind of
motivated.
Like less motivated, honestly. I think he's gonna go out there and give it. But I could very easily see him if he doesn't start making putts early on Thursday. If he kind of starts getting down the same path, just being like, all right, fuck it, I need to go home and figure this out. Like,
although with Texas, like
Charles Schwab,
he always does get up for the home games and the fans there. Like Jordan Spieth's one of those guys who's like a Steph Curry, who people are just fucking obsessed with this guy, and like. It's going to be like a similar situation. Obviously, not on the same magnitude, obviously. But, I mean, you saw the support for Phil at the PGA. Like, obviously, like I said, not the same magnitude. But Jordan is still going to get that really, really high support with those really big crowds. And that's definitely something to look into. He's going to really, you're right. I mean, if he sucks early, then we might not see much of him. But I know Paul, like, big first-round leader for Jordan guy, similar thing. You hit that a couple weeks. Like, if he gets out to a hot start, you're going to see him in the final group.
I think he goes one way or the other. I think he's either like first round leader and like probably gets pretty damn close to winning the thing, or he doesn't even make the cut. I think it's one of those weeks for him where he's either it's one or the other. And to be the highest priced player, I just can't take that risk, right? Like I don't know. That's where
I'm fading him for sure.
You get him
ahead. Where's next week's tournament?
Week after, you mean?
Yeah. I'm just curious of like, is Spieth playing? How many of these guys are playing in all the events up to the U.S. Open, and how many of these
Memorial
are just
is after Muirfield? They'll all be there for sure.
And what's after? Oh, so they'll
US
take off.
Open. Oh, and then Travelers. Let's go.
So Travelers is probably going to be a dead field then.
Yeah, it's
which sucks. They get people to come back for some reason.
Yeah, they're not going to go to.
Because we're going.
Ohio to Connecticut to LA or whatever.
Yeah, it was.
They're not doing that.
They're going to skip the Palmetto Championship at Congaree. I don't know what that is.
These guys love the Travelers, man.
Field of the
they
US
love
Open,
it.
though?
Jordan loves the Travelers.
The week before the U.S. Open.
Oh, okay.
So next week's Memorial, which honestly I think again that plays into if Jordan or a guy like JT, even if they don't get off to a good start, they're gonna be like, I want to go get ready for Jack's tournament.
Yeah, that's a huge deal.
Yeah,
Muirfield's a huge deal. So we'll have to do a nice episode for that one as well.
Yeah,
that's a huge deal.
I don't know what the Palmetto Championship is, but that's June 10th to 13th, and the U.S. Open the 17th to 20th. So these guys are probably going to play this week, Memorial off U.S. Open, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
I don't know where Congaree even is.
And then Rocket Mortgage teach back to the homeland, right after Travelers. Yeah.
That golf course sucks.
The 313.
Oh my god. So I mean, I haven't been to many PGA Tour events, but that course was garbage. We won't even have an episode that week. But
we'll get there. We got to focus on this week.
Yeah, one thing at a time here.
But I do got to ask this question. Justin Thomas, bad week, right? Is this a rebound? Where we kind of see this where it just doesn't do well in the major, and then he stumbles back, figures something out, scratches a T5 or something like that towards the top.
I think again, like the point I was trying to make, I think he just uses this as getting reps.
Tune-up week.
He's just going to be a range rat, working through it. Hopefully put up a couple good scores, but I don't think he's like trying to get out there and win. He's focusing on next week and then in 2 weeks or whatever, the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I got to take on JT too, because like I've always said that I struggle to pick his weeks. Like I can never tell with him which way he's trending. But after watching the PGA and him just trying to hit that duck hook driver all over the place, like it's not a good swing to be making. Like it's a cool shot to hit, but it almost is like, wow, my golf swing's kind of bad if I'm being able to hit this low snipe hook runner thing. Like it's not like a good, like it's all cool on the trad and it's like nice to have that shot in the bag. But that's not something you want to go to the range and do over and over again because it's going to break down your normal golf swing, right? Because it's such a weird swing to make. I think he's got a little bit of issues with his like standard shot golf swing because he's hitting all this weird shit where yeah, it's cool to hit that stuff off the tee, but most iron shots, like you can't hit a low slinger, and you got to hit like something high, soft up in the air. And I think he's by hitting this low slinger all the time. Like I feel like he's breaking down his own golf swing by doing it. Like I know it's cool, it fits certain holes, and it takes a lot of the having to cover stuff, and it can almost be an advantage on some holes. But I think hitting it so many times almost works against you on your overall golf swing. And I think he's kind of like after last week it being so bad, I think that might be something is like, all right, I gotta enough with this. I gotta get back to, like Paul said, I gotta get reps and do this the right way and stop hitting these weird shots. So I think this week is really more of a practice week for him and try and tune up and figure it out for Torrey, because you can't hit that around Torrey with the rough, right?
He's going to go right in a full circle, and this is my prediction for right now. I absolutely agree. I think he's going to go out there this week. He doesn't give a shit. He's going to go out there. He's going to try to find himself. And then what's going to happen is we're going to talk right before the Memorial, and he's going to get shit on by Vegas again. And I'm going to take him again when he's 9-1 or 10-1, like he shouldn't be. And then he'll like watch him, because right now he is not on a good trend. You talked about his trend. It's a bad trend. His trend sucks. Okay. And at 11,000, whatever he is, it's an easy fade this week, in my opinion. Could he go out and just embarrass me for what I'm saying right now and win? Yeah, of course he could. And if he does, you tip your cap, and that's DFS in a nutshell. But I try to catch Justin because he has such a high ceiling as a player, probably the highest on the entire tour. Tough. But I like to, catch him on the coming up, which I think he'll use this as like a scrimmage. He'll use this to try to, find himself again, and then obviously get all jacked up for the Memorial. He'll start to see a trend there. He'll come in 9th at the Memorial, and then he's going to win. He's going to win the US Open, and that's it. Yeah. Here you go. Yeah. There's JT.
I think he needs, he's top. I think he's 3rd in the world, 2nd in the world, whatever he is right now, maybe even 1st. I don't know, but he's top 3 in the world. So it's like, it's not like he's, an abysmal in a bad spot. He's just been a little off lately. And I think it's due to him hitting just weird shots when he doesn't have to.
I think he's one of the easier fades of the week, to be honest.
Yeah. I just been lined up with a minute.
Yeah.
But if I were to put my bank account play, if I'm looking at a top 10, honestly, I think if you're going to put a guy in a top 10, I think it's honestly this, for me, and I'm definitely going to put this in because I think it's a pretty easy one. I think Patty Reed coming in at least 8th in this tournament is pretty much a shoo-in. I mean, isn't he a Texas guy too? Am I crazy? Or is he not?
I don't know where he's from. No, he's from Georgia. He's from
Georgia. Okay. So either way, I feel like he still does well in these Texas tournaments and this Southern swing and stuff like that. I feel like he always does pretty well. And once again, he's the type of guy, he has just played the same golf, I feel like, for like the last 10 years. And he's just, his short game has just gotten better and better and better and better. In a tournament like this, he's going to have no issues out there. Really.
Yeah. He hasn't been at his top lately, but again, there's some big ones coming up. And I think he's obviously, trending, working on whatever he needs to work on. And like this one, it doesn't expose him as much with his driver here because he doesn't have to hit it far. He's just got to make sure it's in the fairway, and he doesn't hit it in bad spots where he's going to be blocked out with these dog legs and shit like that. And then just let his putting do the work. He's one of the best putters in the world. So I love P. Reed. P. Reed's tough to really bet against right now for me. Yeah. I feel like unless there's a very extreme golf course where it's like I didn't love him last week just due to the length there, and like he's got a hammer driver everywhere, and that's just not what he does.
His game, yeah.
But at the same time, I never want to count him out because he can get it up and down from anywhere.
He still finished top 20. So
exactly right on a golf course that really he has no business finishing top 20 on. So that just shows you kind of the player he is. I would be surprised to not see him, top 10 lurking come Sunday, if not more in contention.
Yeah.
I think I love Sung Jae-in. I love him this week.
Okay.
Talk about a positive trend. I mean, he was playing great PGA, just another guy with a great golf swing. And, if he can find a putter, then we'll see. I mean, I'm going to do a little bit more research into the best bent-crest putters around and kind of see, because once again, he gets a little sketchy with the flat stick, but we know what we're getting from him with his irons, and we know what he's actually capable of.
He's motivated. He's got to win.
Yeah. I mean, what about Willie? I mean, Willie's got to win one. Willie's got to win one of these tournaments. I mean, you got to have Willie's the
Fall into
exposure.
Yeah,
Willie's the exposure. You got to have him every week. No,
Willie,
Yeah,
you
Willie
really
spends a
do.
lot of gas traveling, dude.
He's
How
got
about 9,900 and no picture? I mean,
Yeah.
Is that a record?
might be.
That's gotta
is
be.
it because he doesn't have his tour card? It might be because he
Yeah.
doesn't have his fucking tour
He's
card.
got demons with putter though. Demons.
Yeah,
Like
he does.
he's like claw, arm lock, everything already, and he doesn't make shit.
He'll
So,
get Tiger Woods to teach him or some shit, and he'll figure it out. But
I guess
You
my
know what Tiger will tell him? Stop playing 34 rounds a year, and maybe you'll maybe play a
Tiger
little
would be
while.
like, what? He'd be like, what the fuck is that broomstick you're putting? Like, use a real putter. Like, what the fuck is that?
yeah,
That's what he
seriously, look at Phil. You don't need any of these ridiculous putters. Just hit the
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah, no, I think, dude, if he's giving me, but I mean, good vibes to have. He's very Morikawa vibes for me, where it's like you watch him hit the ball and you're like, my God, how does he ever miss? And then you watch him putt and you're like, oh my God, how does he ever make anything? It's like where all it's going to take is him to and putting is one of the, I think, easier things to get hot with. Like it's easy to get streaky with the putter. Like you move your hands one little way one day and all of a sudden it feels better and you start hitting your lines better, and then or you find greens that you read a lot better and all of a sudden you just make a shit ton of them. All he's going to need is a week like that and he's going to win. It's just a matter of him finding that. It's tough. It's a very frustrating way to play golf, to like hit greens all day, every day, have 15 feet on every single hole you play, and to make like nothing out of it.
Yeah.
So if anything for him, it's just mentally finding a way to stay patient through that shit. Like we've seen Rory go through that, Morikawa, like stuff like that, guys that just hit the shit out of the ball. But I mean, you can't not pick Willie Z. Love Willie Z. It's just
his salary's really getting up there, man. His salary is really starting to climb, though. So
That's crazy.
It's like a 1 out of 4 team for me.
I mean, if he makes a cut, what's his like? He's gonna finish in the top 10 basically if he makes a cut.
I know, it's kind of gross.
Like, half the time he finishes in the top 10. He just plays so consistently well, and he is just always around. And
on the big stage too, he's no shot. He is not shy.
No.
I mean, a top 5 and a top 10 at the last 2 majors. I mean, it's a clinic out there with him, and I am so curious to how he'll do U.S. Open, but that's obviously a couple weeks away. But yeah, I mean, he's a tough guy to fade for sure. I mean, I'm looking for ball striking machines on courses like this. I want guys just ripping it. I want tons of birdie looks and guys who can absolutely fill up a stat sheet. That's what I'm looking for this week.
Yeah.
And he's one of them. Abe's another one. I mean, look at Abe's price this week. It's disgusting. It's disgustingly high, but he deserves it, and I'm picking him because he absolutely needs to be at that level, and he's that good for sure. But
I think I got the lineup right here.
oh boy, let's hear it.
you don't got shit.
I got it, man. You just get a feeling sometimes, and the feeling I'm rolling with is this one. Sung J M, 9,100. Keith Mitchell, 7,800.
Ew.
Corey Connors, he's been trending.
Keith
Corey
Mitchell's
Connors,
tough.
94. Relax. It's
Corey Connors is a beat.
Corey Connors
He's
is
not too
amazing.
butthurt.
Zalatoris, Willie Z, Richie Wierenski, and then to top it off, Sebastian Munoz, who I'm going to put money down as the first round leader.
Oh,
I
please
think-
put that in our league team. Just make
the
that
only-
your league team.
The only thing
Come on, donation.
the only point I'll make to that is you got to just hope Corey Connors just blacks out whatever happened this weekend, because it's kind of tough. Like for him to have such a solid year, play so well Thursday, Friday, be in that position, and did he even finish top 20? Like I don't even know. You didn't even see him on Sunday.
Yeah, he
fall
was, tied 17.
Okay,
He's
to go
weird.
from first to 17th, and like
He did
The-
shoot a 67.
and the leading score only went up 1 from where you were on Friday, to only have had to go 1 under in the next 2 days to be winning that golf tournament. Like just mentally, I'm saying like that's kind of tough to then get out the next week and be like, oh, like let's go get it.
Yeah, he knows more than anybody how good he was actually playing and then how bad it fell off. So
Right.
He fell off on a short stretch, and then he kept it like even par. And he
Right,
couldn't
yeah.
get going. So
But still, it's for a guy like
that
that.
makes it even worse. Yeah, it's like
No,
For a
that's
guy
tough.
like that, though,
I
that's
think
been
it's
building, right? He's always been building, and it was like it made so much sense for him to have such a good week there and contend. and then to just shit the bed the second he got there. You know, like that's just mentally tough.
I can't say that shit in the bed, though. I think a lot of guys were up there and went back. I mean, he still finished even par throughout this tough course, T17. And do you want to talk about like the course and making birdies? This guy leads everybody in making birdies. So
Yeah,
I think
then he definitely shit the bed then.
Yeah, if
he makes more birdies than anyone and went from 1st to 17th, what is that?
That's not shit in the bed.
What is it then?
Yeah, it's definitely not shit in the bed. Give me a fucking break. That shit in the bed,
dude.
What is it?
All he had to do was shoot 100 in 2 days, and he would have won the golf.
It's called choking.
How many birdies did he make over round
2? This is
how many birdies did he make? How many birdies did he make
I'm just saying,
next 4 rounds?
Phil was 7 under one turn and shot 14 over in 2 rounds. He choked, right? Because he's a top 100 player in the world. Like, no.
I'm saying mentally, it's one thing to go up and just suck for the whole week and you're done. It's another to play perfect for 2 days and put yourself in the position you always wanted to be in, and then get there, realize you're on the top of the mountain, and shit your pants. Like that's what he did. He literally worked his way. He's been plugging all.
Let TJ pick him, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
and, that's what it's going to be. I'm certainly not going to.
You don't have to like it. I mean, I'm talking about putting money in your pocket. You guys are talking about more sentimental value. It's okay. Like, we'll see how it goes when Sunday hits and some money goes in my bank account and yours don't. So
yeah, I mean, in the last guy for me, it's this is the kind of week where it's a pretty standard for me. Obviously, TJ, I got my standard lineup. My lineup. I got Berger. I got Finau, and I got my boy who they're finally starting to put some respect on my boy Emiliano Grillo. Fantastic ball striker, and when that boy's putter heats up, like stamp a top 10, stamp it. And he's been playing solid golf all year. It's just he's another guy. Unfortunately, he's got a pretty low floor, but then again, made the cut at the PGA Championship. This is what I'm looking for. A really, really hard course. Once again, we talked about Corey Connor sucking, which he did. Not just playing with you. But either way, hard course, top under 8,000, making the cut. I like that. That's a good trend. That means to make the cut and to come, in relatively decent shape at that PGA means you have to be doing something okay. So, I'm looking for that. I'm obviously very biased toward Grillo, but it's a top 15 at Wells Fargo the week before as well. So, playing some good golf. I love Grillo. That's my boy. So I'm riding him. Berger, Finau, Grillo, baby.
Also, don't sleep on Joaquin Niemann. Still hasn't missed a cut.
He's playing this week, huh?
Yep.
Him and Morikawa haven't been mentioned in this episode yet, and they both need to be. Niemann's so nasty. I mean,
my lineup real quick. I got Berger, Finau, Rose. He putted very well last week. I know it's different grass, but ride that hot hand after that Sunday round he had. Harmon, Brendan Todd, and I gotta go back to my guy Vincent Whaley.
The best, man.
Got
the
it.
Best. We haven't given him his 10 minutes yet.
He's got to,
That is a disrespectful price. That is
I was like, it's got to be,
62. I mean, Paul, he could literally get value playing lefty at that price. I mean, I actually am looking at it now. Like, I might have to go 100% at that price. I mean, this isn't 62. A harder. It's an easier course. Like, got to shout out the guy with no picture too. Legend. I mean, he shot 14 under at Byron Nelson. I know it's whatever, but
holy crap.
Top 25, top 25, top 20. Been really just kind of doing the thing. And
his first finish was back in February.
He's been playing well in Texas so far. So
we're looking at a positive trend. He's making cuts. He's playing all 4 days, which we love to see. He's making birdies, and that price is just dumb. That is a dumb misprice on Vincent Whaley for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
he's a 3 out of 4 for me.
His first highlight tape, we should put it together for him.
Vincent Whaley. I'm gonna go on YouTube. Someone has something for everything.
I know you mentioned. I know you mentioned Joaquin Niemann there. I put him in as my first round leader, 30-1.
Love that.
I also have Harmon, first round leader, 45-1, and Brendan Todd, first round leader, 50-1. Pure just value, just try to boost that 50-1 there.
B-Todd's he's due to have one of those days where he just shoots 6 under.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that he'll shoot like 8 under on Thursday and then just like 70,
finish at 9 under.
71s. Yeah, like just chill the rest of the week and just not even I don't can you open the front door and get a top 10? Like just like like he just shows up on Thursday, he's in the top 10 and just like hovers at T10 rest of the week.
So Tej, I think after kind of bouncing off, yeah, I mean he has to. Brendan Todd's not that bad. He's not that bad, and this isn't that really much of a Bombers course. He could definitely eat this course up. But TJ, I think you'll like this team. I have Whaley, Rowensky, Griot, Sanjay, Abe, Patty Reed, which I think is a nice little grouping there.
I haven't put any exposure yet to Abe Answer.
I think that's like they gotta something crazy has to happen for you to not have all those guys make the cut. That's how I
I don't know who's missing the cut. One of those assholes probably will. It's the same story every week.
Yeah, but that's like what you want, right? You get 6 guys to make the cut, you're probably gonna get a little kickback.
That's
somewhere.
what you're looking for, man. That's all it is. I mean, if you want to, you'll never, even if you have one, it's a shame because even if you have one guy miss a cut, like you can still cash, but you'll never win more than $50. Never. In any tournament, whatever it may be. I do strictly this $15 entry now because I'm stopped fucking around with $4 entries like 2 years ago. But I'm in this $15 flop shot or whatever, and I need all 6 in the cut so I can really start sweating this thing out.
Oh, good. I'm in there. We can both.
And I'll find you. Yeah, you could search the name. I'll search you up in there.
Am I joining that one right now?
All you got to do is just, in a button in DraftKings where you scroll and it says top, just hit that. You'll see me there.
All right. But just enter that one too.
Yeah. Get in the $15 flop shop.
There we go.
Paul, plenty of spots open in the flop shop. Plenty of room for you if you want to hop in.
Everyone gets a cut on your fucking team.
All right, boys. Let's do a quick, pick a lock of the week, empty your bank account, pick of the week here, and let's wrap this for the Schwab. TJ, you want to lead us off? Is it going to be who you got down there? What are you up to?
Oh man, I'm gonna go Keith Mitchell top 20.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's see what he's got.
I'd start with a cut made for Keith Mitchell, but moving on. No, he'll make the cut. I think that's honestly really realistic.
I'm going a little ballsier because John Vegas was too easy last time. Sorry, boys.
Yeah. No, hey, great pick, and I like Keith Mitchell's game. I mean, we'll see how he putts, and he's the kind of guy who can make a million birdies. So we'll see. He hits it farther than anyone on this slate. That's for sure. But my guy for the week, my pick of the week is Patty Reed top 10 for sure. Which I'm going to put in momentarily. Actually. Matty F. One of you?
I mean, I don't like doing this, but I'm just going to go top 10, Chris Kirk.
Yeah.
Love it,
Chris.
It's only 4-1, so it's kind of boring. Like I like my 30-1s, 40-1s.
Wait, he's 4-1
for top 10.
Yeah. What?
No,
Vegas knows those are. No one even knows who that is. Okay. See, that changes everything. These are the things, folks. That's the kind of stuff you need to look at right there. Yeah. Why on earth is he 4-1 to be in the top 10? Why?
The top 10s are really crazy odds. Actually, I'm looking at him now. Like Phil's 4-1 for a top 10 this week.
I bet Patty Reed's what, -120 then?
They're
top
all
10?
low.
He's plus 150. So he's
basically.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna go. All right, I'm gonna go first round leader just to get some spice in here with the odds. I might go Chuck. I might go with Charlie Hoffman. I think I love
I love him. I love that.
I think I love him at 35-1 first round leader.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
He was lingering in the PGA, and he had no business lingering at that golf course. I don't know. I think ever since he gave Jordan a run at the Valero, he's been itching to get back out there, and he wants to be at that Masters next year, I think. So I'm going to go with Charlie to just come out firing this week.
Yeah. He's played here a ton, too.
He loves Texas. He plays.
I
Yeah.
have Kevin Streelman on a DraftKings team. Should I remove him instantly? I'm looking at it now.
I'm
Yeah,
trying not to look at him.
I'm really trying. I can't even believe I just did that. I'm sorry to everyone. What
Yeah,
a
I just
gutty
hammered-
pick.
I just popped Charlie in there. I need that 35-1. I need that little kick.
Charlie
Kickstart
Hoffman
Memorial-
is 8,700.
Let's hedge Memorial Day weekend with the little Charlie Hoffman first round leader.
Oh, if Charlie Hoffman is first round leader, we're getting wasted.